So howdy everyone, and welcome back to Troubleshooter. So I've had the night to sleep and think about my thoughts on this game so far. I'll talk a little bit more today. So general impressions so far are positive. I've enjoyed a lot of what kind of got to see the game. Definitely the feel for it. Pros I'll also say as well, although some of them can also veer towards negatives. I've got to say, this is like the 6th video because one went long. We've already come across at least 24 named characters, if not more, which is astonishing, really. Really gives you the feeling of kind of this big, sprawling metropolis that we're in, and just absolutely brimming with life and people involved and such. But there is the risk of a little bit of overload there, and trying to keep track of what everyone is, what their motives are, and all that sort of thing. It's going to be a bit tricky, I imagine, but I did survive Final Fantasy 13, so I have some faith amongst myself. Also, it has been some time since I've seen a game where it so openly parades just how much is going on in the actual game mechanics. Now, again, I don't think you're obliged to have to delve heavily into a lot of that, but it feels like there is a supercomputer running this game in the background, haven't needed to just track of every single variable on all these different things going on. I mean, it's just monstrous, and we've barely got into masteries and kind of developing our characters. There's a long way to go in this game. It is kind of daunting, but it's not a put off for me at least. But I can definitely understand some people thinking, I don't know if this is gonna work for me, brother, and I can kind of get that. But I will say as well, it is noticeable that this game, the people that made this game, I don't think English it has been the strongest suit, because there's so many mechanics and there's so much stuff going on. I don't think the game has done a great job in explaining a lot of it, and some of it you're kind of left a bit to just kind of work out for yourself how it kind of works. When the game does then try to explain it to you, I don't think it describes it incredibly well. The mastery system being a good explanation. We'll have a little delve into that before we move on to whatever we're going to be doing next. But, so there are some little things on the side which I think, a little bit stumbling block, especially for someone kind of not used to this sort of gameplay. Troubleshooter is heavy on that side of things. It's amazing how much there is to do, and that's great. It gives you a lot of onus and license, just to kind of feel like you're putting together your characters how you see fit. They've got their general kind of inherent statistics. We've got Albus, who's very quick fire, relies a lot on dodging because he's low health. You've got Sion, who it looks to be like a real heavy hitter, but his health is pretty rubbish. And then other characters I'm sure come the way, so they've got general archetypes, but you've got a lot of flexibility in how you want to put them together and amongst. And I appreciate that. Alright then, let's actually continue on with our journey and reload the game. So we are going to be doing a little bit of equipment shifting around before we get involved in this. I was considering doing this off screen, but I figure we'll do this once on screen to give you a more kind of accurate feel of how this is going to be. And such. In the future, I'll probably do this sort of stuff off screen and just tell you what I have and haven't done. Sounds like a plan to me. But yeah, Sion, I think, is going to be an absolute beast. And Anne is just a doll, isn't she? Oh dear, I have a feeling we'll be coming across her before this is all said and done. But yeah, I love the theme of it. The music's good. The limited character chance we've had to delve into so far has been pretty solid. There's a lot to like about this game, for sure. And whether you want some real heavy mechanic stuff, your mileage will vary significantly. Anyway, so we're going to go into masteries. Again, I think I've sussed out largely how it works. Although trying to decipher how best to operate the system is another thing entirely. Just understanding how to make it work doesn't mean you're being particularly efficient at doing it. Those are two completely different things, and there's probably guides about how to make that sort of stuff work, but it's fine. Also, again, I will mention that this game does have, at least for me, some pretty long loading times, but I'm going to not put it down to the game. I'm going to put it down to my rig. I think it's just This is taking up a ton of memory on my PC. A lot of it. There's only so much I can do. Alright then, so let's get ourselves into the office here. So of course we are. We have our first apprentice troubleshooter here, which is pretty damn neat. And so we are learning a lot about how everything works here. Sion Bloodwalker, who is now on the payroll. Should be good. Right, things I want to have a look at here. We'll go over the mastery in a second. Here's the activity report, just a reminder how this is looking. Silver Cloud, we're at level 9 for this, nearly maxed out here, which is pretty awesome. Also, our business Pugo Street, making ourselves a bit better there. Would like to get hold of Pugo, but unfortunately, we do not have enough missions done. So it's going a little while here. We've got other residential areas that we might look to delve into as well. But, yeah, it's gonna take some time here. I might well change out one of these, to be fair. I'm unsure, but I'm happy civilian ship for now. It's giving us extra extra stuff in the other residential areas, which I think is totally fine. Right, so we want to go to... right, what do we want to do first here? Here's the company stuff here. We've got a way to go here. We're getting there. I think it's a roster we need. I mean... I guess this will do. Alright, nice. Ah, okay, so if you're rested, you get double experience. Nice. I didn't know that was a thing. Well, there you go, everyone. That is something you get to learn. That's pretty neat. So again, we've got our various bits of equipment here, so we're going to just refit everyone, and we're going to do this the one time and rock and roll here. Ah, okay, so here's a bit more look into the swordsman class specifically. So you can see here, as we get higher level with the class itself, we can start getting access to other masteries specific to the class here. So Bladestorm and sword manuals down the back end, which is pretty neat. As far as the bonding stuff, of course, we've only got Sion current at the moment. We haven't had a lot of chance to do much of him. But yeah, we've got Sion here. He is Albus, by the way. He's Pisces. Complete mission. The number of times you recovered action points is the biggest. The friendship of all members engaged in the same mission to increase by 100. Huh. Number of times you recovered action point is the biggest. Interesting. I'll try and keep an eye on that. Of course, he is the first employee with Sion, so that. Exactly that. Okay. Alright, weaponry. We did get hold of a new weapon. The Asker Blade here. Let's see if that is a improvement. Yeah, so you've got two types. So you've got the left side, where it kind of like gives you a rough idea of the improvement. You can kind of see more on the right side, though, what's going on here. So, so you can see there, big improvement on critical damage. Our general attack power drops a touch, and our hit chance also goes down, down 12%, which is a bit unfortuitous. So you're definitely taking a risk by running this, but if you do get it, you are dealing plenty of damage, which is pretty neat. I think I'm gonna rock and roll this though. We're gonna go ahead and equip the blade here, and it does change weaponry. Neat. All right, cool. Ready to delve into this. We've got loads of these carbon wrist guards, which aren't really doing anything. I'm assuming at some point I'll start being able to sell this equipment, but we've not had a chance to yet. Still running on healing potions, which is fine. We don't need great healing potions for the time being. That's okay. You're still running a flash grenade, and we have costumes, which I might be keeping what we've got for now. And let's go and deal with Sion's equipment as well while we're here. You got these Valkyrie wheels, so you can actually get extra equipment spots, which is neat. We don't know how to get those yet. So he's running the Frostblade Banger, which is changed from the Ephros. Looks pretty good to me. It does lower his general power, increase his power, but slightly lowered his hit chance, which is fine. Again, my impression of Sion is he is basically like basically a black mage, effectively. Hits really hard, but it's obviously very kind of risky to have him in combat. He's not going to be able to take a ton of damage. Also, I also get the impression that a lot of his abilities are really strong, but of course he's got to get close enough to use them, which is going to put him in harm's way. So, got to be really careful with Sion here. But I reckon he could be pretty decent. He's got the bulletproof jacket here, just giving again just extra block chance. Can't be bad. He's going to need that. You could just also just go straight with armor, Well, I think he's got enough as it is. We've got a Magician's Ring of Iron Wall, giving him improvement. This is just a basic ring, doing not really anything. It says unidentified. I don't know if that means that there is potential for it to have something on it. Let's put it on. Let's see what it says. I don't know, maybe you can, like, start identifying them and finding if they've got special things on them. I honestly don't know. He's got the Lucky Sports Sneakers. Could give him the Night ones to give him even more armor. But it reduces hit chance again, which is a concern. We're going to start tanking that down, which is it's a bit worrying. Is it worth it for the armor and dodge chance? I'm going to say yes. I think we're going to roll with it and see how it goes. Get him really buffed it, because I am concerned. His health's not great. Got the wooden spoon as well, giving himself an extra 2 block chance as well, which is dodge chance here, which is better than nothing. He does have a couple of outfits. I mean, is red and black. I actually quite like that. And we've got him in a white costume as well. There are more available you can buy, which should be noted, but we'll just stick with him with the standard for now. All right, okay. So that done. So you can see here, so he's an elementalist. So again, we can kind of see if we come up here, for example. You can currently research Soul Drain, but as we go further down the line, we'll get the chance here as well. So you can just see there's just so much going on. It's a rabbit hole. It's a real rabbit hole of stuff that you could delve yourself into. It's kind of crazy, but alas. Anyways, let's go back to Albus here. Let's go and deal with him more specifically. So we've got his various abilities. We can't change anything else out yet. We've got Wind Veil. We can't lock that yet, so I'm pretty happy with what you've got currently. No other slots to enter anything else. Individual Mastery, of course, is still Windsword here, just giving him straight extra damage, which is pretty good. Could change him around, but I don't see a real need to. I suppose you could pair up quite nicely with his friendship ability, though, so that could be kind of decent. Something you're not going to know. We've got a ton of manuals, courtesy of Sion, which is nice of him. And here's the mastery board. So we have 7 training points. Mail to us, which is really, really neat here. So we're just going to go ahead and, well, I was going to try and take that off. Of course, anytime we unequip anything, we lose a manual. So first things first, I am interested in looking into... getting Albus and Sion. Let's just see if there's anything fun. We get access for a second basic slot. Well, there's an ability now, so loads of stuff for Albus to do here. So is there anything I see here that's like, immediately I'm like, yes, must have that. I'm given counterattack here, which would increase action time by 30 after doing a counterattack. Seems pretty good. There's a reason it costs 3 technique points. Well, as enemies in your line of sight, hit chance increase by 15%. I don't think it's something I'm going to delve into a ton of here. Aggression. Critical chance increases by 3% per enemy of the line of sight. Wow. Now, if we're going down Albus here, we're already buffing his critical hit chance. So maybe we just go all in with this. And we attempt to, like, go really heavy on it. I don't hate it. And so that has equipped into... That's a support. Alright, okay, so it's the white one. Yeah, so that's his support there. So we've got Yearning here. I don't know how much Yearning is going to be useful for the time being. Given the fact that this is... Obviously, it's really good early to have that on, giving him an immediate experience buff. But depends if we're going to be seeing higher level allies around for the time being. We'll see how we go. We'll keep it for now. Right, so basics. Right, okay, this is how we can deal with it into here. Okay, then. So we haven't got a ton here. We can add this defense in, and that's just done. But I won't have anything for basic or ability, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of would like to have that, so we might not put on counter him just yet. Give him some more technique points, or training points later on. So dodge chance 10%. Pretty, I mean, that's just generally good, and that cannot be bad here. Body training increases HP by 10 for every character level. I actually think that could be decent for Albus, although we're only getting 60 health at the moment. But you know, it's better than a kick in the teeth. Armor and resistance up +1 for every character level, plus just a straight +40 in the first one. So you got to keep in mind, you got to pay attention to these. Some of them have like just a flat increase. Some of them have an increase of something per level, and some of them actually have both. So you got to really pay attention to what you're equipping here. So solidity as well. So basically, it's like this does armor and resistance. This is just solid armor. I think armor is basically defense against like actual physical damage, and resistance, I'm guessing, is magic defense effectively. Here's what's going on. Are there an enemy with a higher level than you, or who has more remaining HP than your remaining HP increase of 10%? I don't know how much I'm really using that. I was only still level 7. But I think alacrity just seems good for Albus. It seems to be kind of how he's suited to go. You know, have a lot of dodge. You know, you can just kind of see his various effects here. He's got full wind resistance. He's immune to wind damage. That's pretty neat. So I think we'll give him alacrity. I think that extra dodge chance is going to be good. He's going to get involved in a lot of combat as well, so we'll go ahead and just equip that in. And I don't know if there's anything else I can put onto you here. I'd have to remove something specifically. Attack. Yeah, see, I haven't got any more spaces here, so I'd have to wait until we get to level 8. Gives him another attack. Level 9's another defense. So, all right. So what we're going to do then is we are going to go to the out of this. And we're going to go to Mastery Research, and what we're going to look at is we're going to look at defense techniques. What we're going to look to do is try and get hold of something that we can give to Albus here with the 2 points available. So, not a lot we can get here, because this one needs like alacrity as well as acuity, which we don't have here from weapon blocking. Blade deflection would need a sword master to give us total melee attack block use by 15%, which again is not bad. And that would basically make him like really, really good for just getting stuck in. Was again just kind of like real sword mastery, you know, relying on that heavy dodge chance to just avoid taking damage where possible. Can make him really aggressive. We can also just give him resistance to just various bits and pieces here. So we've got blunt resistance, and we've also got slashing resistance. I'm guessing are different types of attack here, and he also got pierce. I mean, it's just so many different things. It's absolutely crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get hold of Blade Deflection. So for Blade Deflection, we would require a Patience. We'd also require a Sword Master, and we'd need 4 extra points worth of stuff in order to get hold of this and give it to Albus here. But we are going to endeavor to do this. So we already have Patience. So we need Sword Master. So Sword Master is an attack ability. So for Sword Master, we would need to just basically just get in any random attack or defense or to turn it into a Sword Master. Now, unfortunately, I can't find any master combination that can be added. Huh, that sucks. Again, why? I don't know why. So slot attack. So I think the way it works, so you have to have obviously, you see, like, we know about these, but we don't have any. But it also seems as well what you're not allowed to do is you can't overfill the account. So we need 1 required point. So even though we have Forestallment, it's worth 2. And you're not allowed to use that and basically lose technique points in order to get on a Sword Master. Now, I'll be honest, I think I would be rather giving the player the ability to do that if they want to, and just warn them and say, you're losing, you're overflowing here, and you're not getting anything back for it. But I would have preferred them to allow that to be the case, allow you to do that, rather than just banning entirely. And when you go to defense, again, counterattack's the only one we've got here. So now what we've got to look to do is try and get hold of something else that's worth a point in the defense, or the attack, that we can trade in. So, the only thing we've got is Blade Deflection. These are not worth anything, unfortunately. So, I don't actually think we can make it, which is a shame. I would have liked that. So, no Blade Deflection for us, because we need a Sword Master. But yeah, that is And then you can see here, for example, so this one, you can put in pretty much any kind of ability you want in order to make this up. Which interestingly means that it's sometimes harder to make the smaller stuff because the way it's kind of what it's very curious how this system is, but I'm kind of getting it. This is some random stuff on the back there. So so we kind of so let's just give him some just general resistance, I guess. Let's go ahead and get hold of let's get him slashing resistance, I guess. But it's gonna be for swords. This is gonna be against like sort of physical stuff, and piercing, I'm guessing, is like bullets? I guess so. Let's go get him the slashing resistance. So again, you see here for slashing resistance, we would need, again, just 1 point, but again, this is all defense stuff you see here, and this is the issue. All of these, like, need defensive things. So we can't really make any of these, unfortunately. So that is a bit of a shame. Again, as we go further into the game, we get access to just more masteries in the first place, and we learn more. We're going to be able to mix and match a lot more. So for the time being, we're kind of a little bit restricted to what we've got, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So what we'll do with Albus is we'll wait. So we're going to wait with Albus. Basically, once we get another training point, we'll just put on counterattack. And we'll just whack that on him, being lonely. Right, I can't put it on right yet. So we'll whack this on once he gets another training point, whenever that is, and we'll give him counterattack. Okay? Happy? Happy. Okay, then. Is there anything else to do with you, Albus, right now? I don't think so. I think he's done. I think I'm fairly happy with everything going on. Yeah. It's fine. Okay, then. So, Sion. So, Sion again, level 6. Pretty decent. We've done his equipment as well, so we can go into his abilities. We cannot change his abilities currently, because he doesn't have any additional abilities. So, once we start picking up stuff for Elemental, once we get him to level 4, we can start changing these abilities about. So, that's a thing. So, again, you can see his various mastery stuff to do here. So, but being human gives you extra health and vigor recovery. So, we'll obviously find some people and dudes that aren't necessarily human. Magic circuit here. Attacking using one of his magic abilities gives him an extra percent of it. Increase the critical hit chance of the attack ability by 0.15% of maximum vigor. Okay, so that's nice. So if you've got like 70 vigor, then you get a slight improvement to your hit chance of not much, but it's something. A newer circuit, so he has full resistance to lightning. Also has some extra resistance to fire and wind stuff, which is pretty useful. He's cheerful, giving him extra vigor, and he's also immune to mental debuffs, which is pretty good. He also gets his actions a little quicker as well if he's engaged in battle. And then the individual numbers coming from our company, so everyone's gaining extra experience, which is definitely going to be good to get that pretty soon. We can change that, of course, to Blood was what he had, which I think is decent, but it's not really something I want to be wanting to keep hold of. It's pretty risky. And Hungry Wolf could be useful as well. Basically gives you one chance. If he gets knocked out, he can just pick himself back up one time in the battle, which is pretty good. Here's his mastery board. So he has full 6 training points here, so we can't put anything else on without taking something off here. So we'll look and see what he's got here. He's running body training for 10% every character. This is going to be good for Sion. He's going to need that. He also he's a mage. So his power increases as much as maximum vigor. That's pretty good. So giving him that buff to maximum vigor is going to assist with that. So that's a nice synergy there. Tactical sense. Block moves by 15% if there's more allies than enemies. So that's going to help him sort of get involved. Again, we want to send someone just to nuke dudes, basically. And this is going to be a way around that. We got Electric Shock here. Reinforces the attack ability. That inflicts a lightning type debuff on a hit. Chance of triggering lightning type debuffs is increased by 50%. Now, do you have any lightning type debuffs? I don't know. So get his abilities. Flash hit is just does damage. Activates Electric Shock on damage targets with 83% chance. You can see this is getting buffed here. Chain damage can occur with Ripple Flash. We saw that actually when he was AI still in the last fight. We saw it like chain around, which is pretty sweet. Thunderbolt can create electric field, and Lightning Storm, which is his special attack, which can create electric fields on target with 50% chance. So he is actually getting, so he does have stuff going on the side, which Mage is, or Electric Shock is improved now. Yeah, 50%. That's so that is an 83% chance. Normally a third. It's now almost guaranteed. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right then. So that is that. So I don't think so much else to do here. Again, master research. We can't really delve into too much more here. Would I like to get onto Sion? This is a good point. I'll have a look at that while we're here. This will just be its own separate video. We will delve into actual stuff in a moment. But I figured one of these just to really go in depth, show you everything that's going on, and then I'll just deal with this mainly off screen in the future. So your mastering build. So you've got attack and defense. So again, there's nothing we can put on in here. Full Stallman. So this is the ability that Elisa had, actually, and she was just absolutely just crushing dudes. When it's not your turn, if adjacent enemy uses an attack ability or approaches in one tile, you get to attack them and just slaughter them. Pretty awesome. But none of these are going to be too useful for him, I don't think. We see for all enemies, damage increased by 20%, which is not bad. We've got Soul Drain. Puts out of action, fully recovers Vigor. They say the weight of assault is 21 grand. In theory, that could be really good for him, because then you just basically just nuke with your biggest, most powerful attack and you get your Vigor back immediately. That could be really strong. And as for your defense stuff, we don't have any resistances. Anything we've got is counterattack, and obviously that's no good to you. Okay, I'm fairly happy with how he's put together. Super stuff. Right. Anything else to delve into here? It's just the general masteries. Quest. We do have a quest here. Yep, with to visit Roberto, which we have done. So we've gotten some experience and friendship with Jean-Louis, which is good. We did that at some point. We don't do anything else with Don. We don't need orders to order it. We're done with that, which is cool. Warehouse we can't deal with yet, which is also fine. Right, okay then. So I think that is going to do it for that there. So yeah, just figured it'd be a good idea just to completely do this all now and all that stuff. There is one more change that I'm going to make to the game. And I thought about this. I mentioned this once or twice in previous videos. We are going to take up the difficulty to hard mode. I feel like we've done pretty solid so far. You know, again, it's kind of early in the game, but I figure we're going to go ahead and take hard mode. So the basic difference this is going to make is that if we take, I think this is to do with like redoing missions, and there's boss enemies. If you're higher than too high for level, they'll be adjusted, but I don't think it's going to be different for now. The big difference it's going to make is this is going to increase the number of enemies, and we'll also see elite units spawn more often as well. We've not seen any of those currently, but we are going to run hard mode. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that gives you more experience. I don't know if it gives you more money. Haven't a clue. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to see what effect that makes. Might regret it, and again, if so, I can just change it back, and that's totally fine. Right. I think that does it for this video here. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I'm pretty happy with that. So again, won't be many more of these. Maybe one further down the line, but yeah. Now we know equally how much stuff is going on. And again, let's delve into the troublemaking list of all these dudes. And like, obviously, if we meet the same ones, we get like bonuses, and like fighting them, we learn more about their abilities. We get extra hit chances and just all sorts of stuff going. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts how much stuff there is. So this Backstreet Swordsman, man, he beat the shit out of me. That was highly unpleasant. We need to not let that happen again. You see, even they have company masteries. Look at that. So they do extra damage against public organizations. It's kind of amazing that even all the enemies have effectively, that also affect all these masteries. So he's a swordsman just like Albus is. I think it's really cool, and it's just, again, so many different attentions to detail everywhere. I really appreciate that, but again, it is slightly, yeah, so he's just a street thug. But we got these Spoonists, which are their own company here. If an ally attacks an adjacent enemy in the target of your reach, you carry on the attack. So they actually will chain hit, which is kind of unpleasant. And also some of them have also SP masteries as well, which you might have seen a little bit as well, which is kind of crazy. It is. Spoonage Mastery, which is the same thing there. Crazy, right? Crazy. Right. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next time, we're actually going to mission control. We'll actually do a proper mission. And see what is next door for us. Pt.6 is in need of some troubleshooting contracts. Otherwise, we're getting kicked to the curb by Don, and I'd rather not that happen. How else are we going to impress Elisa, right? Priorities, everyone. I'll see you soon.